magical friends, it's Galena here, and in today's Witchcraft 101 video, I'll be showing you how to cleanse, set up, and bless a really simple beginner witch altar, and I'll also be showing you my witching altar for some creative inspiration. For those of you who are new here, my name is Galena Stormrider, one of your magical guides here at Simple Mystic Miracles, and if you think that this video is right up your alley and want more magical content on your feed, make sure you subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell so you never miss another video from us. Before we get into it, I just want to say that your altar can take on its own unique form. It can be as small and as secret or as big and elaborate as you would like it. While setting up a witching altar can be a really special rite of passage for baby witches, don't feel like you have to have one. In fact, not everyone can. Your magic comes from you and not the tools you have. With that being said, a witching altar is a really sacred space that you can go to revisit, meditate, journal, and perform all of your magical spells. If you're a baby witch who thinks setting up a witching altar would be a good step for you to take in your magical practice, stay tuned. Alrighty, so here I'm going to show you how to set up the most basic beginner witch altar. This is going to look really similar to how my altar looked when I was a baby witch and just starting out. So you're going to need a cleaning rag of some sort or, regular paper towels. You're also going to need some sort of cleansing liquid, so you can use Florida water. I'm using Palo Santo essential oil mixed with water and some alcohol as a preservative, so we're going to be spraying whatever liquid you choose. You're also going to need some holy water, moon water, or salt water. You can make salt water yourself. I have holy water that I've purchased, which is in my chalice here, and my chalice is a teapot, so that's what I'm using. You'll also need some protective incense such as frankincense or amber. We'll be using this to sort of seal everything after we've cleansed and charged our altar space, and it also invites solar energy into your practice. Next, you're going to need some sort of oil that you would like to anoint with. We're going to use this to charge our altar, so I chose jasmine because it carries lunar energy, which is really good for divination, which is my main practice. When you're picking your oil, you're going to want to consider what kind of space you want your altar to be. If you want this to be a really relaxing space, then you might want to use lavender oil. If you want this space to feel really energizing and motivating, you might want to use cedarwood oil. So consider those things, and thinking about what purpose you want to imbue your altar with will actually help prepare you for the consecration ritual we'll be doing after. Starting with a blank slate, you're going to spray your altar with whatever cleansing liquid you decided to use, and this will help remove any sort of impurities or previous energies that have been in contact with this, and you're going to wipe this with your rag. I like to wipe in a clockwise motion, and I do this 7 times. 7 is a very holy number that speaks of spiritual alignment, so that is why I do that. Then you're going to take your moon water, holy water, or salt water, and you're just going to use your fingers to dress this table with little flecks of water, and that is going to bless your altar with the hand of God, if you resonate with that language, the hand of the universe, or the 5 elements. Now you're going to charge the altar using the sacred oil you chose earlier. So put some on your finger, and then you're going to anoint your altar with the shape of a pentacle. This will charge your altar with the power of all 5 elements, and it'll also serve as a protection symbol so that negative energies can't latch onto your sacred space. Now you're going to take your frankincense, incense, and seal in all of that magic we just charged our altar space up with. And frankincense also invites spirits in, positive, friendly spirits, namely your ancestors. So go ahead and do that. I also do this thing where I blow the smoke to make sure it touches the surface, so you can do that if you want to also. And now it's time to cleanse and set up all of our magical tools. Omit any of these items if you don't want any of them, change them out. Here is an altar cloth I decided to place, and I sprayed it with the same Palo Santo spray I used earlier just to make sure that that was cleansed. And now I'm bringing the incense because we're going to use the incense to cleanse all of our tools. Incense also represents the element of air, And I placed this in the east just because a lot of witches like to place their element of air in the east. That is totally optional. Then we have this bell, which I'm cleaning. Bells represent the element of spirit. This would typically go in the middle, but as I already have this beautiful triple goddess in the center, I didn't feel it necessary to do that. And I also have this candle to represent the element of fire. As you can see, I'm waving each tool that I add to the altar through the incense smoke before I put it in its place. This will make sure that any energies from manufacturing, shipping, previous owners, customers who have seen it, all of that kind of stuff will not be attached to the item, and that it'll work for your magical purpose. So we're going to go ahead and light that candle and carry on. This is often placed in the south, but I find it a little bit impractical because it gets in the way, so I put it up north. I chose this hunk of diorite to represent my earth element. You can use any crystal or even a bowl of salt. And for those of you honoring the traditional cardinal directions, the earth element would typically go in the north. Then you will need some sort of water element. So I am pouring some of my holy water into this little cup. I'm pretty sure that this cup was my first chalice. I've had it for so long at this point. So it's a very realistic example of something a baby witch would use. Another great example of an item you could use to invoke the element of water would be this seashell that I placed here as well. So don't feel like you have to use any of the tools that I chose. There are so many different alternatives you can use, especially if you don't want open water or open fire on your table. You can totally use like tea lights, battery operated lights, anything like that. This salt brick would also be a great example of something you can add to your altar that is the element of earth and also inherently cleansing. Now that your altar is cleansed, charged, and set up, you're going to want to consecrate it. To consecrate something is to initiate it as an official part of your practice. It's a way of inviting your altar to work alongside you in a very specific way. So you're going to set your intentions for this altar and also thank it for joining you. So you're going to need 5 coins or 5 rose petals. I sort of did both here. You're also going to need a piece of paper, an envelope, and of course a writing utensil. Sit in front of your altar with the intention of being open to its vibrational energy. What is your altar's vibe? Maybe it's a safe and nurturing space where you feel comfortable and relaxed. Maybe it's an academic space where you will study and put your spiritual wisdom to the test. Maybe it's supercharged, making you feel powerful and limitless. Maybe it's all of the above. As you feel the energy of your altar, get back in touch with your personal energy. How will this altar serve your magical purpose? Once you've figured that out, write a letter to your altar thanking it for serving this magical purpose. For example, you might want to write, "Thank you for serving as a foundation to all of my magical workings and being a safe space that I can visit consistently when things feel out of order in my life. Thank you for being a home where my spiritual team can visit, and thank you for growing and changing with me as I develop my practice." You're going to add that into your envelope along with the 5 coins and the 5 flower petals that you're adding. I chose to add some lavender because I want this space to be really rejuvenating, and I often visit my altar when I'm feeling anxious in order to check in with my energy and reset in some way. Using your magical water, you're going to seal the envelope and on the back, write the following. I bless this altar with the power to aid my magical workings, protect me from all unwelcome energies, and serve my unique magical mission. Then you're going to stash this envelope away somewhere. I just hid mine under the altar cloth as an example. And now I'm going to show you my altar just so you can see how it's developed and creative decisions I've made. Maybe you can take some inspiration from them, but do not compare your altar to mine because every altar is unique. And I found this example altar really nostalgic and just so special and magical. So please just take this as inspiration. Alrighty, so here is my altar. I wanted to give you a little tour just in case you could take some inspiration from it. I was really inspired by Alvine Green to put books here in this corner for height. I have also these shelves that I got for about $20 on Amazon, and I really wanted a lot of height on my altar in order to elevate the element of spirit. So on my shelving, you can see I have my tarot cards, some divination things I use like my dice and my oracle decks. And that box right there is a mailbox that I actually put my letter in from the consecration ritual. That mailbox is just a cardboard box that I painted as a way to send messages to my angels and my deities. I have figurines as well as an offering cup there with this little pumpkin on it. That is why I have a lot of height here. I guess it's a way of lifting spirit up. Some other honorable mentions are my quote-unquote cauldron, which has some sage in it at the moment, my chalice, which you saw earlier, some dried herbs going on, some colored pencils, which I use all the time in my magical practice. I also have this solar system going on in the background, which adds more height and also represents the planets watching over me and sort of influencing everything I do. I love using a desk with drawers as an altar because I can keep all kinds of nifty crystals and things for easy access. And yeah, I hope that this inspires you and that you feel motivated to make it your own and get creative. And even if your altar looks nothing like this, I hope that it feels just as magical and just as special to you as mine does to me. I hope that you enjoyed this video and that you have some ideas for setting up your own witching altar. It was so fun to show you mine. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a like and visit our description for way more magical goodies. Leave any of your questions in the comment section below and subscribe to our magical channel so you never miss any more of our content. Thanks for spending this time with me, and I'll see you in the future. Bye!